before a single image was released, before the official trailer, even before the plot was fully revealed. The internet had already made up its mind. Nobody wants this. That was the headline. That was the tweet. That was the comment section. Everywhere, the news of a brand new Harry Potter prequel, a return to the wizarding world. Set long before Harry, Ron, or Hermione landed with a thud, not a cheer, and that reaction. It shocked even the most skeptical of fans, but too truly. Understand why some people are so upset. Why fans are saying it feels forced, unwanted, and too late. We first have to remember what Harry Potter used to mean, because this isn't just about a film teaser, it's about magic, memories, and the art of knowing when to let go. There was a time when just hearing the words Harry Potter stirred something special in people. It wasn't just a story. It was a feeling. A world woven tightly into childhood for some and comfort for others. Midnight book releases, crowded theaters, Hogwarts house quizzes, tears at Dobby's grave, laughter in the common room. Magic that lived not on the page, but deep in the hearts of a generation. The books were devoured. The films, beloved, and for many, that final movie, The Deathly Hallows, Part 2, felt like the perfect goodbye. The Golden Trio standing together on that train platform. A new story beginning, even if we didn't get to follow it. It was poetic, clean dot, until it wasn't. Because 2016 arrived, and with it, a new attempt to revive the magic. Fantastic Beasts. Ambitious, gorgeous, promising. A look at an earlier time in wizarding history, a chance to expand the universe. And in truth, the first movie had potential. But as the sequels came, confusion grew. Characters twisted, plot lines tangled. The charm began to fade. By the third film, even the most curious fans were asking, where is this going? And just like that, the world that once felt so magical started to feel manufactured, spin-offs, stage, plays, rewrites, recuts, drama, controversy. Regret, people still love the original story, but the constant attempts to recapture that lightning. It began to feel like watching someone try to bring a firework back to life. Long after it fizzled out, so when the whispers of a new Harry Potter prequel began circling in 2025, there wasn't excitement. There was hesitation. No Daniel Radcliffe, no Emma Watson, no clear characters. Just vague hints of decades before Hogwarts as we know it, and a focus on new magical families. The teaser was short, mysterious. A few dusty streets, a strange wand glowing, a shot of a young witch staring into the sky, and one line over a black screen. Before the boy who lived, there was another story. Some leaned forward with curiosity, but most, they recoiled because it felt like a trick, a forced return to a place people didn't ask to revisit. Comments exploded. Nobody wants this. Just leave it alone. This isn't the magic we asked for. But here's the thing. Deep down, people actually do want that magic again. So the question is, what's missing? Why does the idea of a Harry Potter prequel make some fans emotional and others so deeply frustrated? You see, when a story becomes part of your identity, when it grows with you, comforts you, helps you dream, it stops being just a franchise. It becomes home, and if someone tries to rebuild your home without your voice, it won't feel right, no matter how shiny the wallpaper is. That's where many fans are stuck right now. Not because they don't care, but because they cared too much behind. The backlash isn't boredom, it's heartbreak. Because whenever someone tries to reboot, rebrand, or reimagine Harry Potter, it comes with a risk that they'll get it wrong, that the characters will feel one-dimensional, that the themes won't carry the same soul, that the magic will look real, but not feel real. People fear the intention behind the news stories. Are they told out of love or out of business? And when the teaser for this new prequel arrived with vague visuals, flashy effects, and no emotional center, people assumed the worst. Because what made Harry Potter special wasn't just spells or creatures, it was heart. Let's not forget, for some, Harry Potter helped them through loss, through divorce, through depression, or growing up feeling different. For some, Hogwarts was the place they escaped to when the real world felt heavy. A letter they never received, but still claimed with pride. So to see that turned into just another prequel that hits deeper than just disappointment. It feels personal. That's why the phrase, "nobody wants this," isn't just lazy hate from trolls in the comments. It's deeper. It's fans guarding something that still means something to them. And maybe that's the reason this story matters more than the prequel itself. Because at the heart of this backlash, there's something surprisingly poetic. People don't want to let go of the original magic. They just want to protect it. As the trailer faded to black and the studio logos appeared, social media lit up with debate. And some brave voices still dared to be hopeful, asking, what if it's better than we expect? What if there's still a little magic left? What if the heart does return? But for most, the fear still lingers, that the magic will come back. But without the spark, that they'll sit down in the theater, open their heart, and feel nothing. Nothing but nostalgia wrapped in disappointment. Back in the 2000s, there was a belief that stories should end, that they deserved a final chapter, a curtain call, and a quiet goodbye. But now, in this era of prequels, reboots, shared universes, and endless next chapters, it seems no story is allowed to stay finished. And maybe not every story should. But some maybe should have been left as they were. Perfect, complete, safe in memory. Like the way Hogwarts looked in that final scene with Harry's son stepping onto the train with the sun rising over the castle. And with that simple, beautiful line, "All was well, but is it still well?" That's what many are asking. As we head into another retelling, another journey into the past. With characters we don't know and questions we didn't ask, will this prequel surprise everyone or prove the fears right? As the dust settled after the teaser dropped, something strange happened. People weren't just arguing over wands or wigs or timelines. They were digging deeper, asking harder questions. And underneath every comment, every meme, every "nobody wants this" tweet, there was something raw. Because when a story lives in your heart for decades, any attempt to change it hits differently. It's not about whether the spell effects look cool or who wrote the script. It's about trust. Fans built a lifelong relationship with the world of Harry Potter. They followed it through their childhood, teen years, and into adulthood. And when something so personal gets touched again without their input, it doesn't feel exciting. It feels like being left out of your own story. That's the heartbreak. That's powering so much of this response. It's not that they hate the idea of a prequel. It's that they're afraid it won't carry the soul. They're afraid it'll be shiny but empty. Big dash budget but heartless, set in the wizarding world, but without its magic. Not the kind of magic you learn in Defense Against the Dark arts class, but the kind you felt the first time you read about a boy in a cupboard under the stairs. Or when Hagrid said, "You're a wizard, Harry." Or when Dobby died a free elf, and you cried like he was a real friend. There's a difference between revisiting a world and repeating it. One is done with love. The other is done with expectation. And maybe what fans are afraid of most is not that the prequel will be bad, but that they've changed. That the world has moved on. That they'll sit in the theater, see the Hogwarts crest, hear the music swell, and feel nothing. Because you can go back to a place, but you can't always go back to a time. Some say the real issue isn't the prequel itself. It's too soon after controversy. Too soon after Fantastic Beasts fizzled out. Too soon to reopen a world without healing what came before. And it's true. The Harry Potter franchise hasn't had an easy few years. The Fantastic Beasts series lost momentum. Its storylines grew confusing. Its actors replaced. Its timeline murky. And then came the storm around the original author, debates, arguments, boycotts. Fans torn between what the story meant to them and who created it. So when a teaser drops saying, "We're going back again," it's not just a new movie, it opens all of that up again. And that's not easy. Still, with every nobody asked for this comment, there's another voice. Quieter, but still there, saying, maybe. If they get it right. Maybe, if the movie focuses on universal themes again, family, friendship, belonging, bravery, the courage to do what's right. Maybe then, the magic can return. Maybe, the new characters, no matter how unfamiliar, will grow on us. The way Harry and Hermione and Ron once did. Back when they were just names on paper and we had no idea how much we'd come to love them. Because that's the thing about stories. No matter how many times they're told, there's always room for one more. If the heart is still there, the fans, deep down, don't want to say goodbye to Harry Potter forever. They just want to feel like they're being seen. Like the studio understands what made the original stories matter. It wasn't clever plot twists. It wasn't just Quidditch matches or Dark Lords. It was the feeling that no matter who you were, weird, quiet, brave, scared, misunderstood, you mattered. You could be the hero of your story. So the studio now faces a rare kinda mountain to climb, because they're not just making a prequel. They're walking into an emotional space fans have kept sacred for 2 decades. It won't be enough to throw a wand in someone's hand and hope for applause. They'll need to fight for trust again, to rebuild that connection that once felt unshakable, to prove that this journey isn't about cashing in, but carrying on. And most importantly, they need to remember what fans are really saying when they comment. Nobody wants this. It's not hatred, it's protection. They're guarding something that healed them, raised them. And until they're shown that same care in return, they'll keep pushing back. But here's the beautiful part. This story can still work if the creators listen deeply, if they focus on heart, not hype, if the characters feel fresh and whole, if it honors what came before without trying to copy it pair, and if it remembers that the real magic of the wizarding world was never just the spells or the potions or the sorting hat. It was the readers. It was the fans, the ones who waited for their letter, who saved up for midnight showings, who got a lightning bolt tattoo not for trend but for belonging. So when we ask who even wants this, the answer is complicated. Maybe millions do, maybe none do. Maybe we miss the things we used to believe in, and we're scared to find out they don't feel the same anymore. But stories have a way of surprising us. If done with care, even a prequel can become powerful. Maybe, just maybe, the next spell will be cast with the right intention, and maybe this time it'll feel like home again. Let us know what you think. Do you want another story from the wizarding world? Or should this one be left in peace? Hit subscribe to stay with us as we keep exploring the stories that move us, shape us, and sometimes let us believe in magic again.